Okay, so I feel like when we got into when the ball dropped on December 31st, 2019, going into 2020, we didn't know what the fuck we were getting into. We didn't know that we were going to have a global pandemic. We didn't know that we were going to be, content creators to pass the time by. We didn't know a lot of the shit that we do now in 2023. But we also didn't know the fact that we literally were going to go all the way back to 2010 and glorify everything that we missed dearly. Or even 2007. This relic right here that I was drinking pre-show, Mountain Dew Gamer Fuel,
Holy
it's
shit.
actually one of the OG flavors. It's one of the OG flavors from when Halo came out, Halo 3 came out. And what was it? 2007, I think 2000, yeah, 2007, 2008. Like, do you remember like how big of a time that was in like gaming culture? And I'm not even talking about like gaming culture like specifically. I'm just talking about the fact that we literally, as like later generation millennials, kind of us 90s babies, maybe like the late 80s babies as well. Like we are literally getting just like blitzed with things from our past from the 90s, 2000s and even 2010s,
That's true.
thinking that that's crazy retro. Like um I think the first thing that we can start off with that's kind of like close to us is gaming culture. Um right now, for me, one of the biggest things that came out probably a few weeks ago was this glorious Volume 1 of Metal Gear Solid, the Master Collection, Part 1. So, what this entails here is Metal Gear Solid Part 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, and Metal Gear Solid 3. But not only does it include Metal Gear Solid, it includes the original Metal Gear series as well, because there was a couple of games. The two games that started it all were on the NES, or what was it, the Fancom or whatever it was, way before my time. And I'm just sitting here thinking that there's going to be some people just playing this for the first time and thinking, "Oh my god, oh this is clunky and whatnot." And I'm sitting here, I'm just like, this is my childhood, while just like shooting all the genome soldiers in the head and whatnot, thinking, wow, my mom let me play this when I was younger. but
See,
but no,
hashtag
I
can't
mean,
relate because I didn't start gaming till like 2010 ish.
okay, but you're still, the thing is though is that you're still in that range, like where we were at the tail end of like the glory days of gaming, and still like maybe some of your favorites are now becoming remasters or remakes.
That's
Am
true.
I wrong about that?
I mean, no. So I first started streaming on Twitch the towards the end of 2020, and the my game of choice for a hot minute was Spyro. And I mean, I remember when Spyro. So I we kind of have previously discussed this between streams and past seasons of Hot Seat. Like, so gaming was not a thing in my house. I grew up at got in my mom's house, and we weren't allowed to game. So when I go to my dad's, like they had games and shit there, and so Spyro was one of the games I played there on PS1. So having it remastered and being able to play it on my PS4 and have all three of them like all at once. So I had never played the first two. I'd only ever played the third one. So I was able to
Oh,
like play the first one and the second one and actually really actually learn the story of Spyro. And I was like, oh man, I remember playing this when I was a kid. And I was like, this isn't new.
yeah, but like when you go back to at least like Spyro Part 3, I forget which one that exactly was. Like it brought a sense back to you, like you actually like stepped into a time machine.
Oh yeah, I
Like
definitely like certain bosses or like challenges within the game. I was like, oh my god, I remember this. Like this was. I remember getting so frustrated. There's a couple times that my dad, so my father lives here, And when we were kids and playing it, if we get something too hard, we'd be like, "Dad, come do this for me." So my dad had come to visit one day, and I was playing it, and I was like, "Dad, do this really quickly because I can't figure it out still, even now, like 20 years
Yeah.
later, I still can't figure this out." So it
Yeah.
definitely, I was like, "Oh man, this is like summers at my dad's house growing up all over again."
Oh man. I mean, I wish that you could have like experienced the gaming of like the late 80s, early 90s with like, the SNES, because those brought so many memories for me, and I know a lot of like this is when the movie games, like the licensed movie games, were actually like good, and you didn't have like something that was super rushed, but like the Lion King, The Jungle Book, Toy Story. I actually have those cartridges in my car right now. I had to go back to my mom's house, and she was bugging me. She's like, well, not bugging me, but she told me like, get your shit or I'm throwing it all out. So
Like,
I had
no,
to
that's
go back.
money.
Well, no, it wasn't. It wasn't specifically like the games or anything. So I wasn't expecting that. But no, it was just like all of my old like fraternity letters and everything, which I need to
Um,
call my chapter and let them know like, hey, I may have some clothes that I need to will down to you guys. So, because I'm not gonna wear like all these fraternity letters. I might keep like one of or some of the ones that my wife made. So like, when I open this box, and I know we're digressing, but when I opened this box, I got hit with like I used to be an orientation assistant for school, and I had a postcard from the 2014 orientation season, and I was just like, holy shit, this was a fun year. And then when I opened that up, I saw like my letters that I wore in China. So my wife got this unique fabric that was like filled with Chinese characters,
mhm.
and actually got my fraternity letters printed on the shirt that I wore, and I was all hyped and excited to see those because I literally have not like worn that shirt maybe in like the last 5 or 6 years, maybe even later, because I probably only wore that shirt when I was out in China. But anyways, yeah, the licensed movie games were difficult on SNES, but like they brought back so many memories, and I was just like, I don't know what I want to do with these. Like if I want to like give them to the next generation to try out, or like maybe find a SNES that I can get, like or one of the knockoff ones where they have the SNES Genesis and all that, and have my wife probably won't question me if I bring a new piece of gaming equipment in, but have
We love
some kind
Mrs.
of
Phoenix.
honestly, like she doesn't care though too much or one way or the other, as long as we've got some stuff around or like cash around to pay bills and whatnot. But anyways, I digress. So, with all that said, definitely wish that you were around to experience the heydays of like no difficulty setting gaming experience, 'cause that's definitely how SNES was. But yeah, but again, just this thing brought back so many memories. I remember that I wasn't even actually able to play Metal Gear Solid 3 when it first came out. So my mother, bless her soul, found God again for the second time. I shouldn't say that. We actually started regularly going to church around 2003. I think Metal Gear Solid came out or Solid 3 came out 2005, 2006, sometime around that. And so she saw that the game was rated M, but she got me both Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 when I was younger. So I was like, Mom, what's the problem this time? Like, why are you making this such a big deal? And it's like, it's got suggestive themes and violence and gore, and this is not Christ like. And I'm like, okay. So I had to wait a couple of years to get it. Um, But just like at least like seeing this one, like, it brought back memories of just kind of like that day and age, a simpler time. Even not just, or even not actually having a chance to play it, it's just like, wow. Um, but yeah, so I guess like segueing into other avenues as well, because like I said, it's not just going to be all like game culture, which we can talk hours on end for it. I've been seeing a lot of reminiscing and nostalgia culture just even within the movies that have been coming out, maybe within, the horror realm, and just like so many remakes galore. It's crazy. Like I feel like a lot of writers don't have creativity anymore. Let's see. One of the most recent movies that I've seen was The Exorcist. What was it?
The new
Believer.
one that just came out.
Yeah, it was a new one that just came out. We also had Saw 10 as well, which like, again, like bring back all these memories of like, the glory days of both of those franchises, which Saw 10, if anybody hasn't seen it, banger movie. Exorcist Believer, definitely a banger. Never seen any of the Exorcist series before that, but yeah, it's just like we're either like beating a dead horse here, trying to revitalize the franchise for a new fans to experience maybe for the first time, or everybody is just bored and looking for the next cash grab. But either way, it's still like giving you like warm fuzzies though. Is there anything like maybe in the Disney avenue that you're thinking about, Callie? Maybe like Little Mermaid or
I mean,
any of those live action
I'm like
movies that have come out recently?
frustrated with Disney in general because I feel like Walt is just rolling in his grave with all of these like live action remakes of everything. Let's be honest. Anybody who's a true Disney fan, these live actions are not good. Like they're good in their own right, but they're not. So I'm trying to tread carefully with how I say this because there's so
Let me.
much cancel
I
culture
will
wrapped up in
actually.
it.
I will take the reins of this one because I feel like you're probably gonna say what I'm thinking you're gonna say, and honestly, I would rather say it just so
Oh
you
gosh.
don't get canceled. But it is not because Ariel is black, okay?
Facts.
All right. It
Facts.
is because the CGI. I shit you not. I actually said, you know what? I'm gonna watch this movie. Not because of the fact that I think that a black mermaid just doesn't make sense. Like I get inclusion and everything, but like stick to the basics. No,
I'd
what
have
was
felt
her
the same
name?
way
Like
if she would have
Haley.
been like light blue like Stitch. I mean, it's just, it doesn't. For me, the biggest. So I haven't finished The Little Mermaid. I got like 15 minutes into it. The biggest, I guess, turn off or shut down for me for the movie is Scuttle. Like, Scuttle's a seagull. Like that. It's like what
Oh,
he's a seagull. And in the live
I
action, he's
I was
not a
thinking of
seagull.
Scuttle.
Scuttle's the bird that brings her all the stuff from the human land and
No,
like,
no, I know who Scuttle is. I'm
oh,
just saying the CGI in this shit is shit. Like
it's just,
it's bad.
well, and then it's like, okay, so I don't, the Lion King live action, which is essentially just
I haven't
updated
seen that one.
animation. Okay,
Full disclaimer.
so it's literally same thing with the Jungle Book. The live action is just updated animation because they're not actually using lions. So it's all CGI, which is still animation. Like it's just a modern day animation. And my problem with The Lion King is that they have actual celebrated award winning music artists in roles in that movie. And it was trash. Like the
Yeah.
singing was so terrible. And I'm like, doesn't Beyonce play like Nala or something? And it was just so bad. It was so bad. It was so bad. And I'm like, this is not. Now, Aladdin, I liked because Will Smith played the genie. But
Oh
he
yeah.
said before that movie came out, he could never be Robin Williams' Genie. So he
Oh
made it
no.
his own. And I like there was several nods to the OG, animated Robin Williams Genie, but he made that role his own. So it wasn't
Oh yeah.
terrible. Like it was more of a nod than a remake. But like they're already remaking Moana. The animated movie just came out a couple years ago, and they're
What the
already they're already live action making Moana, with Dwayne the Rock Johnson reprising his role, and I'm not even trying to say her name wrong. The girl that plays Moana is actually still playing Moana, so I can't.
Okay. Thank God that they're not fucking up and like recasting, Maui and Moana. Because if they do that, then like,
It's too
I'm
recent.
at this point, I'm
Let's talk about that remake or sequel or whatever. So what was that? 3? Is that which one that was? That just came out?
no 3 Men in Black International. I don't know. Haven't seen it. Don't care. Don't got Will Smith. Don't got
Terrible.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Terrible.
You know what? We're gonna do it again for the fans. We're gonna go back, to the '90s and make sure that shit.
It's just like, man, I don't understand. I think it's cool to not redo, but like to update the classics. Like how when they re-release them, remember when Disney on VHS used to like you'd have the one come out and then like however long later you'd have like the diamond edition and it was like now in Technicolor and like all the other like fancy, or as it was coming out on Disney. Oh man, all I can hear now is this DVD is now enhanced with fast play. But
coming soon to own on
Disney DVD. Yep. I remember that. So
can you add that in just like
just as
so
a sound alert?
Compare?
Yeah. But man.
Yeah, just so we can compare how well I did that. Like, hold on, I'll do it one more time.
Oh no, here we go.
People coming soon to own on DVD.
Coming soon on video and DVD.
Oh my goodness. I can't even. It's just little stuff like that. It's just. Hold on. We're actually going to look this up. Disney DVD intro. We're just going to. Here we go. All right. Hold on.
And then you also got to remember like the THX.
Oh, yeah. Is it this one? Oh, man. There we go. Can you hear it? You can't hear it,
No.
can you?
No, I can't.
Rip. I remember this. Oh, no, that's just the Tinkerbell
now,
one.
by the way.
I'm on Twitch?
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay,
I'm kidding.
listen, I'm not cutting this out of the episode. So, that's how we started this episode, was me going live without meaning to. And that was
Yeah.
which is okay. So in all honesty, we have to be honest. The fact that we did not post the episode last week had nothing to do with the comeback being the comeback king, and everything to do with Cali needs tech support help all the time. So we're just gonna I won't let you take the L for that one. That one's my L.
So I guess should we recap like the folks on like what we were gonna do or like what we were talking about for that first like I guess episode 0?
That was the testing episode, and it tested poorly, so we didn't put it out there. I'm mad because there was a lot of really cool one-liner like zings in there, and then I went so far as to re-record it with Mr. Cali, and I still fucked it up. So it's just it is what it is. Like I can't even. But yeah, like so as far as like Disney goes, so they released their new game, Disney Dreamlight Valley. There's a brand new expansion coming out for it, and it has a lot of nostalgic type features in it. So like the main character is Merlin, and you have classic Mickey and classic Minnie and classic Goofy, classic Donald. Like it's just But it has so much potential to reach not just new Disney fans, but like those of us who are in our late 20s, early 30s, even into our 40s for some people that like grew up on Disney. So, it has some decent potential, but we'll have to see how that goes. I don't know. I was kind of flipping through like old pictures. Even so, when my son was younger, my parents live in California and we took him to Disneyland for the first time. And I was even just like flipping through those and like how much of that stuff doesn't exist anymore because they've redone like whatever. So the last time I was at Disneyland, Star Wars Land was not a thing yet. Like the whole section of Disneyland where Star Wars is and like Tatooine and all that stuff, that was not a thing yet. It was still just a concept that they were talking about. So to actually see it, like, so the next time I go to California, hopefully I can make it to Disney. That will be the first time I'm seeing it. So it's, but like, I feel like they have a good mix of the old with the new. So you still have like the classic Peter Pan boat ride that everybody will wait 7 hours to get on for a minute and a half ride over a floor of lights, which is essentially what it's a dark room with lights that looks like you're flying over like the London city skyline and stuff like that. It's I don't know, but that's our childhood. Oh man, baby Callie's in the background.
Oh, I don't hear her at all.
That's good. But yeah, so it's kind of why, so for my daughter, like the cartoons that she's watching for baby Callie, I give her a mix of like newer stuff, like Sophia the First, and there's this new one called like Tots, and it's a toddler transportation service or something like that. But then we watch like Darkwing Duck and DuckTales, and like when cartoons were actually the Little Mermaid series, TV series, the cartoons were actually cartoons.
What about Bluey?
We watch Bluey, but Bluey's new.
Oh yeah. I mean I know, but Bluey.
We watch Bluey.
Bluey is shit.
Let's rephrase this. I watch Bluey. It's good. Bluey's good. Mom.
Hey, hold on. Cut 1 second.
Uh-oh. Bluey is one of those shows that is for parents disguised for children. Don't look at me like that. How many episodes of Bluey have you seen? They're like 3. I like when you zoom in and it like... This is what I mean by Callie doesn't do tech support. I'm just saying. But...
No, not at all.
Bluey is one of those things that they're only like 3 to 7 minutes long, but they like respectfully shame every parent out there who is not like hyper involved with their kids, because these parents, Bandit and is the dad. Oh no, what is the mom's name? I just call her Mom. I don't know what her name is. Chili. That's what her name is. Are like the top tier parents. Listen. Don't knock
Bandit it. And Chili.
Mm-hmm.
Bandit and Chili.
Mm-hmm. And their daughters' names are Bluey and Bingo.
What in the is this? What the?
Watch it. You know what? We're gonna have to do that in the Discord. We'll have to have a Bluey day.
Oh no!
Listen, we did Paw Patrol on stream, and Sky came and played Paw Patrol. So, is there a Bluey game? Oh no, we're gonna Google this. Oh
man, Callie, why don't we tell the crowd of the special guest that you had a couple years ago?
Where did you go? Oh, there you went. You went away. You talking about Sky from Paw Patrol? Where did you go again? Why do you keep disappearing? There you go.
I don't know.
Hold on. Bluey video. Sky from Paw Patrol came and took over my stream and got drunk, and it was interesting.
Sky can't get drunk. She just
Oh my God! There's a Bluey video game.
She had too much chocolate.
There is a Bluey video game. We're gonna write this down. Okay. Bluey game, save for later. When you do a podcast as a content creator and things just come out of the woodworks, that's just how that works. But anyways,
Yep.
we bunny trailed way off. So stuff like that is like classic Disney is important that I expose her to that just as much as the new stuff because there's something to be said. I just watched Hercules the other night because I've been playing that Disney Speedstorm game and the which is basically essentially Disney Mario Kart, which is amazing. But one of the maps is Mount Olympus, like from Hercules, and the muses are singing, but it's like a trap music version of the muses singing, and I was like, oh man.
What?
I'm like, I have to watch this movie now, so I rewatched it because the muses are some of my favorite characters. Um, they're not my favorite, but they're up there. So they're my
Hmm.
top 10 for sure. But it's definitely just little things like that I'm like, oh, this is my childhood. Now, if you ask Mr. Cali, it would be very different because he was not a Disney kid. He was a Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network kid, like cartoons, kind of like kid. I didn't, and see, that was against the law in my house. So we were strictly Disney or PBS. That was what we did. Sesame Street. Sesame Street has been on for 1,000 years, and it has like, so HBO Max has like OG original season 1, episode 1 of Sesame Street. And I put that on and then skip forward to 2021's version of Sesame Street. And I was like, whoa.
Oh man, since you said OG, I guess I got to go back over to a realm that I'm familiar with. But and besides, we can't not talk about it. But OG Fortnite, like that's like the elephant in the room with nostalgia right there, or just like a throwback, flashbacks, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I mean, the fact that first of all, a huge like case study, deep dive needs to be thoroughly examined for the what do I want to call it? The fall off proof of Fortnite. Just because this game has been out since 2017, picked up traction in 2018, and has not fallen off for the last 5 years. Like,
Really?
it's everybody's dream. Yeah. Like, I shit
don't
you
play
not.
Fortnite.
I woke up one morning. In Jacksonville, Florida, post graduation. Turned on my PlayStation 4. I was like, all right, I want a new game to play because I need to not get addicted to MLB The Show. And this was MLB The Show 2017, the one that started it all. And this Fortnite game was free to play. I looked up a trailer. I'm like, ew, shooter? No, fuck that noise. I'll just keep on playing 17. And, years go on, this thing grows in popularity. I think I finally get it when I started streaming or like got back onto the battle royale phase with Call of Duty or whatever. And I was like, this ain't my cup of tea because I don't know how to fucking build. And little Timmy keeps on like shooting me with the tack, and I'm sick of it. Anyways, fast forward now, we got OG Fortnite. Map is fun. I'm enjoying it. No build, whatnot. Like, anyways, it's just like I wasn't able to like hit the nostalgia button on this one, but damn, some people some million people definitely were like, I'm getting back into this game literally concurrently. I think like at prime time on Friday when it dropped, hit like 4.5, 5 million like concurrent users.
That's crazy.
Like, talk about, hitting at the heartstrings of what the people truly want.
I mean, when
But
you
it
think
brings you
about it,
back.
I guess the heavy lifting of gamers are those of us in our 30s. And like, that's where to me, I think, where the meat and potatoes of gamers are, is, 30s, a few early 40s, like touch of definitely late 20s. Like, that's where the thick of so if you really want to capture and I guess market forward, I mean, when you think about it, so other games are doing that in a nod backwards. Like Assassin's Creed Mirage just came out. And I
Mhm.
cannot tell you how many people have said that it goes back to, I haven't played it yet. It's definitely on my must play list. But a lot of people have said that it's going back to like the gaming mechanics and the story flow goes back to Assassin's Creed 3. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
heard the new Modern Warfare is bringing back old maps and game modes from the OG Modern Warfare.
Ooh, we're not going to talk about that one because
Uh-oh.
I think they piss off their fan base with like some additional like bullshit
Well, see, I would,
to put in there. I mean, I've just been scrolling through and seeing some like things of like daily missions and like do like 3 daily missions to get a blueprint. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, they do hit you with nostalgia there with like all the maps and everything. I'm not even gonna lie. I downloaded the beta just to see like an updated Rust or an updated High Res because I remember Modern Warfare 2 when I was in my FPS era. Like every year, I got the new Call of Duty game and everything, and like I'm not even gonna joke to you. This Call of Duty would have been one that I would have jumped back onto and probably hit heavy to the ground just because of the maps. But then I had to face reality and realize this is not going to bring me as much joy as it did when I was a kid playing it because it's different mechanics. It's a different environment, and essentially it will wear off. And it's not like ultimately what I want to do with my end goal if I am diving back into gaming content scene. So why the fuck am I gonna do this? Like drop $70 on a game that I'm only gonna play for like 2 to 3 weeks.
I mean,
Like
yeah.
it's not a wise investment. Um, but then it brings me to the question that I've had. Um, you know, is it truly fan service of what these companies or what these developers are trying to do, or even artists or anything like that? Because, like I said, it's not limited to just the gaming world. But because I heard OG and Sesame Street, I'm like, oh yeah, we got to bring this up. But is it truly a fan service or just a nod to better times of the past, or is it really a cash grab? Like,
I think it's a little bit of both.
and I really think that it's a little bit of both. Ultimately, these developers are companies. They have to capitalize on capitalism somehow, and I mean, we are in a spot. I mean, a lot of us in our in our generation, the later millennials, the late 80s, early 90s millennials, are in a status where they're probably like working middle class, upper middle class, that have a little bit more disposable income now that you know you could be like, hey, we've got skip it skip it adult
Oh
that you
man,
can use.
can you imagine if they redid Bop It?
Oh, honey, they are re-bringing Bop It back every freaking day of the week.
Like, I just pop it. Pew! Oh no!
I want my old Bop It. I don't want the new Bop It Extreme.
I used to have the
I
little
don't want.
keychain version.
Oh, I had the keychain version too. I had the keychain version. I have Bop It Extreme with the spin it.
Mm-hmm.
So you got twist it, pull it, bop it, and then spin it
Spin it,
with like the
crank it.
little red like Oh God, I fucking hate cricket. Flick it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that some like porn star probably got like into the bop it market and made like a jerk it or something like that. Um, you know, I mean, if not, then where you at, Ron Jeremy? Hit me up. I got a plan for you, bro.
There was Bop It Bounce, Bop It Extreme, Bop It Smash, Bop It Tetris, Bop It Beats, Bop It Micro Series, Bop It New Moves 2016, Bop It AK Bop It Refresh, Bop It Maker, Bop It Re-Release, Bop It Classic.
What in the fuck is a bop it Mac Micro? What the
Bop It Micro
what?
Series. It was released in 2014. It has 3 basic commands: bop it, twist it, and pull it. 2 game modes: solo and pass it. Oh my god, pass it. Pass it. Doom, 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 doom. Oh man, this is just the player scores close to 100. The pitch of the game will speed up. Yeah, I remember that because as the better you got, the faster it went. Yeah, that's
dumb.
That's crazy.
But yeah, oh my god. But yeah, I mean, you know, we talked about games, we talked about movies, and now the moment that everybody's been waiting for. How are we going to bring Taylor Swift into the mix?
Listen, don't be hating.
Oh
on
no,
my
no,
girl.
I'm not hating at all. Like, you know, when you have to hear Taylor Swift every day of the week because your lovely wife is part of the cult of the Swifties. Like
It's you.
I shit
Hi, it's the problem. It's you.
I shit you not. She keeps up with this Eras tour like it is her own child.
God, I can't wait till it comes out on a streaming service.
I mean, you know, when we recorded the first episode, she was out at another showing of the Eras tour.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, too bad.
Listen.
But this whole marketing thing, like of hers, is brilliant. It's truly brilliant. The Eras tour, like, I know where I was when I first heard Taylor Swift. I was in my sixth grade, middle school. Let's just say middle school, so I don't have to worry about grades. I was in my middle school science class. Yes, 2005 was, I think, self-titled.
We're about to look this up right now.
Oh yeah.
First album. 2006.
Oh, October 24th, 2000. Oh my god, it's a fucking 24.
See, now you have to like it by default.
No, not necessarily. If you guys know anything about me, 24s is a huge number. Typically, the 24 is stylized with a Roman numeral. I don't really say, 20, or I try not to say 24 like written out. It's just a little thing. Maybe if we, I don't know, either get like a Patreon or something or some kind of like exclusive content. No, I'm not talking about OnlyFans, you nasties. Maybe Cali will be so nice to talk about or like upload the concept world if that's something that she still has access to from the first episode if it wasn't like muted. Anyways, I digress. But yeah, so middle school class, my science teacher was a huge country fan, and she's like, I'm gonna play some music. So like all of a sudden we're listening to this Taylor Swift album, just like, who did Bish? And then I just saw blonde hair, blue eyed, curly face, and I was like, okay, she kind of cute. And so the rest was kind of history there. And then I think the year after that was Fearless. I actually gotta keep this up.
It was Fearless was next.
Yeah, I know Fearless was next. I'm just making sure, like, I got the years right because I'm like very anal with my years. Okay, so oh yeah, she does every 2 years. Dumbass. I'm calling myself a dumbass. So in 2008, she came out with Fearless, so that was my senior eighth grade year. And then 2010 was Speak Now. So 2010 was actually the significant one. With like each of her releases, I actually know where I was. So like, going to the Eras tour, yes, you guys can judge me. I went to the Eras tour. Screw me. I have a wife or I have a Swiftie for a wife. Remember that. But 2010, October 25th, 2010 was when Speak Now came out. And my wife actually got Speak Now for her birthday, which was on Thanksgiving that day. So she had to wait a month later for it. So, yeah, this one, I was in a new relationship with my girlfriend or then girlfriend, current wife. Red was actually one that I was all geeked out about, and this is when my wife stopped listening to Taylor Swift. State of Grace got me. 1989. We don't talk about 1989's initial release. Um, Long story short, I just had it was a rough year with kind of just like personal stuff. Reputation came out 3 years later. That's when we took a break from the 2 year release because Taylor was in that whole like bullshit with Kanye and whatnot. And
We're not
her
going to
whole
talk about that.
reputation was yeah, her whole reputation was just going down together and whatnot. So that's why we kind of had that like 3 year wait instead of a 2 year wait. Lover. I don't know what else to say. God fucking another 24 album. Folklore. But she also did a double release that year in 2020. So she did Folklore and
Or
Evermore.
Nevermore, yeah.
And then um but also
Midnight's.
the ironic thing, if you do take a look at the releases, because she is predictable as like a Call of Duty drop every year, from Taylor Swift debut all the way down to Reputation, there was always a release to be expected between October and November. But this time, when she came out with Folklore, this was the earliest release in a year that she had in July. And then December, she kind of went back to her habits, or back to December. Speak Now reference in case anybody's wondering. And then Midnight's followed suit with the typical October release in every 2 years. So,
She's killing it,
um,
man. She's just, and now she's re releasing them all in Taylor's version, and they're still doing just as well, if not better, than they did when they originally came out. Like,
right.
they're just, she's, people hate on her a lot, but she has earned her title as, one of the queens up there. Like,
Oh,
she's amazing.
yeah. And I mean, like I said, I do act like I hate on this woman a lot just because my wife suffocates me with so much information
You're a
that
bandwagon
like
hater.
I'm not a bandwagon hater. It's like I said, like I respect the shit out of what Taylor does. It's just that got I've got so much information out of it that it's just like I can't control it. Like I am not that big like of a Coheed super fan as people make it out to be. Like I fucking love Coheed. Don't get me wrong. Like hello? Hello? I got a box set behind me and everything. I know all the most of the words to the songs and whatnot. Like I geek out when the Amory Wars is released or like some of the other side projects, but I'm not seeking all this stuff out like everybody else is or making content on it like everybody else is for this artist. But yeah, if I was to take like maybe a month off of not hearing you know everything, like yeah. But anyways. the main focus of this is that I don't really believe that Taylor's like main intent is to, cash grab, but she's a businesswoman, congratulations to her for being a billionaire on both doing these re-recordings and all that. I really think that, she's just getting into a plan where she's trying to get ownership of, well, she is getting ownership of her music back from Scooter Braun. So, with all that said, the Eras Tour, this is the greatest nostalgic marketing scheme I've ever seen. And the reason why is because if, you've seen it, I know Cali, you said you haven't yet. But if you've been to a show or if you've seen the concert film, which, by the way, so good that my wife went twice. You're taken back to kind of like, how I was listening every era, like where exactly you were at the time. And if you weren't, then you're listening to it for the first time. Honestly, I would say that this truly is just, a fan service and, a personal statement for Taylor to, do what she needs to do. So, yeah, I mean, again, respect the hell out of her for doing this and all that, because it definitely is bringing back, memories of my best friend and I experiencing Taylor Swift for the first time during our science courses. And then literally speak now, it's just like the album of my relationship that led into, my marriage. So, yeah. As much as, again, like I have to act just as the character of Phoenix, it just, it's nice to have that memory. But
I
yeah.
think you could even, okay, so we're seeing it in gaming, we're seeing it in music. I thought I saw somewhere that they're getting ready to re-release the Furby. So I'm pretty sure.
What?
I have to look that up. I'm pretty sure I saw that they're re-releasing the Furby.
When did Furby fall off?
Yo. Furby was... That thing was freaking creepy. It was scary. Oh no, they did re-release the Furby earlier this year. It came out in July.
Oh God, no.
It came out... Oh, it's cute. Oh man, we'll have to pretend that we're not recording this yet, and there's the image right there. They're so cute. There's one of the old one next to the new one, and the new one looks like a little puffball. It's cute. Anyways, but so you're seeing it in toys come back. I mean, then you have toys that are just nostalgic in their own that just never fell off and keep producing epic things. And for me, that's Hot Wheels. So my son is a very avid Hot Wheels collector, and he only plays with them when he's grounded from electronics. But he is the child has so many Hot Wheels to the point where, but he knows what he's looking for. So when he goes and finds them, and it's so funny when you see the ones, because they're all labeled and they're different series, and when you see ones that say classic or whatever, and my son will look at him and go, Mom, look, this one's so old. It was probably popular when you were a kid. And I was like, oh my God, it's not that old. I'm not that old. I don't understand. So, but they're you have brands like that. Barbie and has always managed to figure out how to stay relevant and constantly, but then you have when the Barbie movie came out, there was the nods to, holiday Barbie and Barbies that were, those Barbies that your mom, well, not you, because I don't know if you got Barbies when you were a kid, that's cool. But when you get Barbies and then your mom's like, don't open that because it's going to be worth something. So now people just have Barbies in storage units and buried in their garages that they could have been playing with all of this time. And she's still in a box because they think she's going to be worth umpteen thousands of dollars. And it's just one of those things that's my grandmother is an avid collector of dolls. So you see, it's creepy. You see, just how things have changed. I think part of the problem with nostalgia is people try to bring things back, but also fit it within today's woke culture, which is a whole other episode of just that is we're gonna write that down. We will have to do a whole episode on woke culture because
Oh
it goes hand in
boy.
hand with cancel culture. And I mean, brands get canceled over, sometimes it is legitimate, but a lot of times brands get canceled over the dumbest stuff. Uh,
I'm a scuff.
yep,
Scuff.
stuff. Like, it's
Scuff.
just, it's terrible. It's so, but I mean, it's one of those things. It's just, I wish my children could experience what we did when we were their age. I mean, it just, the world's changed so much. And I think so in the beginning, you kind of mentioned that we started seeing it boom the end of 2019, the beginning of 2020. But I mean, look what happened. For the majority of 2020, and even in some places, parts of 2021, we were all stuck in our houses with nowhere to go. So there was nothing to do but look back at, oh man, when times were good. And then the world opened back up and everybody went back to just normal, dumb stuff. Like it wasn't nothing. You know what I mean? And so I think companies are still trying to capitalize on the fact that, so there's your cash grab, is they're trying to capitalize on the fact that, wait a second, do you remember when? And they're pulling it back, but they're doing it with like, oh man, now this 2D animated game that you used to love when you were, in first, second, third, fourth grade, we're going to bring it back, but we're going to bring it into the graphics of 2023. And it's kind of cool to see. I wish if there was something that they would bring back, and we'll give you one for each one. We'll circle back so you can think about it. So if they would bring back one game, just one music thing, whether it be a concert, a show, an artist, or whatever, a movie and a TV show.
Okay. So, game, I think that it's already back here. I've got it. And I've got another one on the way. It's the Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, which is a complete remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. I think that because of the fact, and I'm not blaming my mom on this one, so I'm not going to go full Eminem, but I think the fact that I was not able to enjoy Metal Gear Solid 3 when it was released, and I had to defer that gratification until I got older, um, probably makes sense to why it's one of my least favorites. Um, so I think that once Delta comes out, it will probably let the inner child in me have some kind of like healing, even though that sounds probably like the most childish and just like dumb, thought process ever. But I don't know. It kind of just was weird. So then music. Oh boy. Um, there's so many songs and so many albums that I wish that I could go back in time and hear for the first time again. Um, I want to experience a Coheed and Cambria Never Ender series with the first four albums. Just a little bit about that Never Ender thing is that Coheed did a 4 night concert for each album from start to finish um, from their original discography.
It's like a whole Coheed
So
festival.
and I mean, yeah, I guess you could say it was a Go Eat Festival. But now they call it the SS Neverender, and it's a whole ass cruise. But no, just to be able to see like all four albums played from start to finish at the end, because there's so many songs that I still have yet to hear live that TV show. I'm gonna skip the TV show real quick, but movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually watching this when I was out in Miami because I'm a basic bitch. I was like, I'm in Miami, so I'm gonna watch Scarface. I want a reboot of Scarface in like current day Vice City like esque Miami.
Like
Um,
redo it, or like the next generation of Scarface.
redo like Scarface, like
Say hello to my little
cast
friend.
cast a new Al Pacino to have him play Tony Montana,
Oh no.
and just like redo that whole thing because I'm not now if I don't get it, I don't care because the original one stands the test of time because that shit is so good still, but like, you know, I I want to see how well how far we've come with the standards of
See, I disagree. I
movies
think
these
there are
days.
certain classics like that that are just. I guess technically it's not a classic, but
Oh, it's a classic.
it's a classic to the new generation. But I think there are certain things that you just don't touch. Like there are certain rules, like movie rules, TV rules, whatever. Don't touch it. Leave it alone. It was fine the way it was. It doesn't need to be. And that circles back into the beginning. We were talking about all these damn Disney remakes. Like I am a Disney, I bleed Disney. Like it is what it is. But leave it alone. It was good how it was. And when you start to do it and try to modernize it and fit it into, because there's a lot of things that were really, really good that would immediately get people canceled for now. Um, I mean, different roles, different jokes, different things that are just like, oh, you can't say that. Like, that's just because for I guess risk of alienating our potential fan base, we've turned into a bunch of soft people that just can't handle. Can you imagine a child? I'm thinking of mine right now, in the middle of playing a Fortnite match, and somebody picks up the phone, and the game is just because there goes your online connection. Like,
Yo, no, don't remind me.
you're on, you're three people down, and then you're getting that victory royale, and then your mom picks up the phone, and you're just like, Mom, like, get off the phone. Like, it's just, man, I don't. Do you have siblings? I should know this,
Yeah.
but I don't. Okay,
Yeah, I do.
so, like, can you just get off the phone? I want to play with my friends. Like, I mean, I can't. But there are certain things that you leave alone. Like, I think that that's one of those movie roles that you just leave it alone. Certain things like Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump, you could never create another Forrest Gump. There's nobody else that could play that role to me. Like, that would just always be. And I hate when they do remakes like that, because in my head I'm like, that's not how that, you shouldn't have said that line that way, or that's not what that's supposed to be, because it's not, I don't know, just I think that you could create something within that universe to try to, like, with nods back to it. That was one of my favorite things about the Expendables. As each, macho hero came in, they all had their little one-line zingers from their, like, height of friend, like Bruce Willis, in his Yippee-Ki-Yay line, and Arnold Schwarzenegger and the I'll Be Back, and, like, just the little zingers that you're just like, aw, but they created something epic with those same people and still respected the stepping stones that helped them get to being epic. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess I'm gonna play devil's advocate there because I feel like that's probably an unwritten rule. And what if, what if we had someone that was talented enough to match or outdo somebody in that position? Because I'm brought back to this cover by Johnny Cash, Hurt, which was originally a Nine Inch Nails song. Trent Reznor heard the cover from Johnny Cash. I think it was like one of his last, one-off singles. And Trent Reznor said that, uh, that cover was pretty much perfected Hurt. And when you hear the song Hurt, you don't think, and I'm a fan of Nine Inch Nails. I'm still discovering some stuff because, they're actually the godfather of like industrial alternative that got me, to where I'm at today, music wise. I still think of her as a Johnny Cash song. Like, now think about that as, Scarface being redone, like, and somebody having the role of Tony Montana and outdoing Al Pacino, which God forbid nobody ever does. But yeah,
Who would you
what if that does
cast
happen?
if you could cast someone as Tony Montana?
Oh God, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's just not. I don't know. There's just, to me, there's not. I think that's what makes nostalgia so great, is that it doesn't. And we have these little nostalgia pop-ups that happen all the time. I mean, throughout history, like every few years ago, I feel like there is a nostalgia boom where all of a sudden it's like, oh man, remember when? And there's just lots of remember whens that pop up. Anybody who's on, most social media platforms, Facebook, Insta, Snapchat, they have the memories feature where you're just like, oh man, like that was. And some of these people who have had, their social platforms like that for 20 years or whatever, they're just like, oh, things were so different. Like, it's just. Nostalgia culture makes me sad because it reminds me of what we had, and we just keep drifting. Like, it just is the look back of like, oh, that was so good. Why did we stop doing that? And then, that's a oh shit.
No,
Whoa.
I just want to take a second to, because you said Facebook memories, and I opened up my Facebook memories and scrolled down as far as I could to like the latest year that I remember, and wow, these people actually are still friends with me. Oh wait, this person deleted me a while ago. It's kind of funny when you have people that were friends with you, and then they delete you, but they still have their comment is, or their reaction is still on your post. Anyways, no, but like I'm taking a step back here, and 11 years ago, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 came out, or I was in line for a midnight release. And I'm just thinking
Midnight
about how, like,
releases.
just like how crazy those things were.
Parking outside a GameStop with a whole bunch of other nerds just like you over a game that now we just, game available. Click and it instantly downloads. Or you set it up to auto download at midnight. Like, that's just, you can go to sleep and then when you wake up in the morning, boom, there it is. Like, that's just. People used to take whole weekends off of work. And I mean, there are a couple people who still do that, but for the most part, that's a dying art. Like, that is, people don't really do that anymore. Where it's like, oh man, I gotta call out of work tomorrow because I was at GameStop till 2 a.m. at a release party for the last midnight release party I went to. It was previous to my marriage, and we went and got Skyrim. He was a huge Skyrim nerd. Like, he had played all the Elder Scrolls before that, Oblivion or whatever the heck it's called. I don't play Skyrim, so I don't know. But he had gotten like the most specialist edition that came with like the dragon statue and the giant ass book and the case and all of this. Then we waited. We got there at like 9:30 and we were there till like 1:30 trying to get our shit. And he was just he had taken like 2 days off work to play it, and I had to be at work the next day, and I was not thrilled. But it's just like, that's not a thing anymore. People don't really, I mean, even with, okay, so we have Thanksgiving coming up. After Thanksgiving's Black Friday. Back in the day, it was you ate Thanksgiving dinner and then you went to bed because you were getting up at 2:00 in the morning to go park your ass outside of Best Buy for like whatever it is that you were getting or doing. And now
wait, having dinner at home? No, you're way too late then. You got people camping out like 3 weeks before.
That's true. But now it's just one of those things that's just like, oh, like, why would I want to go Black Friday shopping when I can just get that shit through Amazon? Or like, now Walmart starts their Black Friday shop. I think I just saw someone the other day that's like, Black Friday shopping now, and I was like, bro, Black Friday's not for like another 2 weeks. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, this is not, it's just, I never did the Black Friday thing, mostly because broke life. But like, I have friends that would come back to school after Thanksgiving break and they're like, oh man, we saw these epic people just, America, the only country where we, preach about being thankful for what we have and then trample each other for shit we don't need the next day. Like, it's just, it's crazy to think. I mean, and you even see it in, in older movies that you watch where they're like, oh man, we gotta go, hurry up and get you, people fighting over Christmas with the Cranks, they're fighting over the last ham, and you got, Jingle All the Way, where they're fighting over that Turbo Man toy.
Yeah, which isn't a Christmas movie, by the way.
I'm never letting you live that down. That's not a thing.
I mean, it's not. So I'm sticking to it this time. It's not.
You're still sticking to it. It's not a Christmas movie?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a Christmas movie.
All right, so Hotmess Hotseat is now currently looking for a second co-host because we're kicking Phoenix off the show.
Oh, well, I mean, I feel like we say this crap every time, and I'm still here, so.
That's true. I'm still standing better than I ever was. Oh man, that song is stuck in my head now. But
yeah, so I guess, like, in conclusion, when do we get out of this, like, this wind tunnel of nostalgia that we're in? Because I feel like it's here. It is pretty strong for whatever you're doing. Again, in every single media that you're in. Like, do we have a relief, or is this kind of just how everything's working because we have better technology now, and people are now making certain money to kind of like keep the cash cows and cash grabs going?
I don't think we'll ever. It's just the life cycle of gaming, pop culture, music, whatever you want to call it. It's things come into play and then they fall off. I mean, you even see it in food. Do you remember Dunkaroos as a kid? And then like a year or two ago, they re-released Dunkaroos. Like, so, I mean, you even see it in food where it's coming back. Candy companies will release special edition OG packaging. And you're just like, oh man, I remember when it used to look like that. Someone the other day, Mr. Cali was talking to me about Diet Coke when it used to come in a gold can, not a silver one. So like different, you even see it in that. I don't think we'll ever get out of it. I think when it's the strongest is when we need it the most. like in 2020 with the pandemic and the world just going into just so much sadness and darkness. And then it was like, here, remember a time when everything was happy hunky dory?
You know what I needed the most when we were, all situated and whatnot? I needed that man from that Disney thing like we were talking about, just to whisper in my ear and just be like, coming soon to own on DVD. And actually be on DVD and not like on just Disney Plus and Netflix and everything. I mean, hell, for the love of God, I bought another neuralizer because I was in Orlando, and I shit you not, I was I was at Universal Studios last year, and I told my wife I need to go back on to that Men in Black ride and shoot up some aliens, and then also get another neuralizer and go back to 2001 when I think that I went to, yeah, no, whoa, no,
2001 was fourth grade
2000.
for me.
2000. I forget if I actually got on a plane before or after 2001. Probably 2000, or no, probably 2000. But anyways, I had one of these and I lost it, and I was like, I need this again, just to make people forget about the craft and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, like, then freaking Universal hit me hard like that. So
Do you remember
yeah.
those viewfinder things that you put the little paper disc in and then you like turn the thing and the image would change?
Oh hell yeah!
So my son got one of those. I don't know if it was like a McDonald's toy or something, but he got one not too long ago and he's like, these are really cool. You've never seen these before. And I was like, yeah. I used to have a whole like almost CD case looking thing of the little paper CDs they fit in the thing. It just goes like when you just push the picture. So that reminded me of that, like just toys that are just, you know what I would like to see come back, like for real. So now we have all these like LED lights and shit. I want to see lava lamps come back. Like lava lamps are freaking cool. Like they're what? Man, I'm just thinking. Remember when Spencer's was like the store that you couldn't go in because it still is the store that you can't go in. Like it's just.
I mean, I was gonna say Spencer's is still the store that I can't go in, but I go in there for my freaking ear piercings because they're better than Hot Topic. I can't make sure that I'm venturing far off of there, which
You just can't go to the back corner where all. What? Oh, what store would you bring back?
What do you mean? Like, what store would I
Like
bring
in the
back?
mall? Like, what store does not exist anymore that you would bring back?
Man, I don't know. Because I wasn't a big mall shopper back in the day. It was just to hang out. Like, just like
I
wander around the mall aimlessly. It wasn't even just like going into stores.
I want them to bring back the Disney store with the giant tower of Disney stuffed animals.
See, that's the thing. We still got a Disney store at our mall.
Oh no, see, yeah, we don't have. I haven't lived in a city with a Disney store, and I don't even know how long. Like, we don't have Disney stores anymore.
You seem pretty fucking depraved.
That's the South for you. But that's.
Well, tell the South to stop southing.
I'm going to in about 8.5 years when my son graduates high school. So I I had to hold on in the South for 8.5 more years. And then as a California girl, I don't belong here. That's one of these things just doesn't belong here. It's me. Like, I just don't. I don't. And see, and I lived in Texas for a while too. And I lived in Florida for a while, but I live in South Carolina currently, and no offense to any South Carolinians out there. But all the offense. Like, it's just like it's terrible. We talk about moving. You want to talk about nostalgia culture? Just hang out in the South for a little while, and it never left. Like, it's not nostalgic because it's still the same as it was a bajillion years ago. Like, it's just not. It's not it. Like, it's not. But you know, that's neither here nor there. I would bring back the Disney store, and now that I'm a girl mom, and not just a boy mom, I want to bring back Limited 2. Because...
Oh, God.
Because I want to bring back Limited 2. Like, that was... They tried to, like, redo it with, like, Justice, or whatever the heck it was called. And it was not the... Limited 2 was... That was it. Like, if you could wear Limited 2 jeans and hair clippies and... all the other obnoxious crap that they used to sell in there that nobody ever needed and you bought anyways. Limited to toys. I want to bring back Light Brights. Do you remember Light Brights? The little black screen, you put the paper up there and then you stick the colored pegs in the hole, trace the pattern, and
yeah, those.
I want to bring back Light Brights. I think those are cool.
Yo, actually, hold up. Fuck it. Bring back Toys R Us.
Yep. I feel like...
Yep.
I feel like Toys R Us needs to come back because everybody wants to
needs to experience Toys R Us just once in their life.
I don't want to grow up. Too bad that I did. Like, it's definitely just... I miss... We didn't really go to Toys R Us a lot. We used to go to, our big, like... cool department store like that was Kmart, when it had Little Caesars inside it and the whole store smelled like pizza. You would walk around Kmart. That was rest in peace Kmart. And Sears, rest in peace Sears. Like, those are the department stores of my heyday. But yeah, it's definitely, I don't think nostalgia will ever die. Like, it's just one of those things that part of it is the cash grab. That when things start to fall off, companies kind of be like, okay, we're putting out good stuff, but we're kind of plateauing in our numbers. Let's go, you know, kids and teenagers are keeping us afloat, but let's go back to mom and dad. Like, let's bring them back because they miss it. So, that's definitely just kind of one of those things. Sorry, I'm slightly getting distracted. We have a mutual streamer friend that is streaming. Shout out to Beyond Dre. And he is doing his Beyond the Red Zone show. And literally every team on the left-hand side of the scoreboard has 4 points. And only 4 points. Oh, no.
No, wait. That's not it. That's the fourth quarter.
Oh. Now I'm dumb. Now I'm dumb. Because I posted that in Discord too. Now I'm dumb.
Delete.
I'm dumb. That's the quarter. Okay. So this is why Cali doesn't do technology. Anywho, I literally thought everybody had 4 points. And I was like, oh man, that's... Stay in school. Don't do drugs. All right. So... On that note,
wow.
On that note, Phoenix, are we still working on a Phoenix comeback, or are we just kind of?
So I mean, yes, but you can still drop me a follow and make me feel all happy on twitch.tv/RealPhoenixTV. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter/X at RealPhoenixTV. All that shit's down there below. So go ahead and follow me at RealPhoenixTV. Make me feel good. Give me those serotonin levels that I desperately need. Even though my body can produce serotonin, I just like, the numbers going up when I can. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
I need more Phoenix React TikToks.
Depending on if you see me, Coach Dubson, Erie, you'll see it. Iridescent Phoenix or Erie has his own channel because he's a pain in the ass. But Coach Dubson pretty much lives in Rising Stadium, which we might. Coach Dubson sent me an email and was like, I need my Diet Cokes to not be so expensive. I don't want to pay $1 for that. And yeah, and I'm just like, Coach, like I try to keep the money in the team. Do you want this rebrand or not? Not a Real Phoenix TV rebrand. God no, like no, we're not gonna fucking rebrand that. We might rebrand the Phoenix Rising Baseball Club to the Phoenix Firebirds, but we'll see. I gotta figure out the financials for that, and the if the Diamond Dynasty Committee will even allow that, because they already hate the fact that I'm not using like TTV, Real Phoenix TV, just for like default purposes. But anyways, yeah. So stay tuned. Follow me everywhere at Real Phoenix TV, and remember the mantra, all that, since we're in nostalgia, since that was like an original thing. And Cali, where can we find you for your next thing outside of Hotmess Hotseat?
That's Twitch. I'm hanging out on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. This month, we're focusing a lot on community events. So, we just did Jackbox. We're doing Fall Guys with Dixper. We're doing Sims 4 with Crowd Control. Our story game is called High on Life. It's different. But I'm on Twitch at Cali on 1992. It's right there. That is a 1. It's supposed to say Cali on 1992. I still have not change the font yet, because that means I have to change Phoenix social fonts too, and that because my OCD is just like, nope, it has to be the same. And yeah, we've already been struggling with technology, but I'm also on Twitter, Insta. I don't really post on TikTok. I'm trying to get better about it. And then of course the YouTube, which is where you're watching this. Definitely make sure you hang out, because this is where all our hot seat stuff is going to be. I promise I'm gonna make sure that I stay consistent with this. I can't even say we. It's me. It's me. I'm struggling. See, like, I had the tech issues last week. We were supposed to record this on Friday. It's currently Sunday. It's just
Relax. They don't need to know about this. It's okay. It's all right.
In the spirit of transparency, like, that is, we're Hot Seat is my baby. So I'm trying to. Not my actual baby. I guess I can't say that because I have an actual baby now. When I originally used to say that, she was just a mere hope and a prayer, and now she's a real thing. So, but yeah, that's kind of, I hang out in Discord a lot. Tuesdays, we do Theater Room Tuesdays in my Discord specifically. We watch, speaking of nostalgia, we were watching Tom and Jerry and the original Looney Tunes the other day, and we watch a lot of Disney movies and Hamilton. That's another one that we Greatest Showman. So we definitely, movies are, I'm a huge movie buff. But yeah, that's kind of, thanks y'all for hanging out with us and chilling.
Absolutely. And just in case, you thought that you heard some things, no the fuck you didn't.